Hey, I'm Ani. I'm in the cognitive science department at UCI. I work on studying brain connectivity through electroencephalography. What that means is essentially we record voltages from the top of the brain and then look at how similar these correlations are between different voltages across different parts of the brain. And we try to look at that in different tasks, like, for example, working memory, where you try to remember a phone number, or in disease, for example, like in stroke, where you have a, a lack of blood to some particular area causing damage to the brain. And so you look at how connectivity changes in these different situations to understand what the brain is doing functionally in order to help with therapy, help with understanding how the brain works. So being a grad student in the cognitive science department is really is freeing because there's a lot of different groups working in a lot of different areas. I particularly found my area because I was interested in consciousness, and I sort of came into this area thinking about connectivity. Also, there's a lot of chance to meet people from many other departments because there are groups at UCI which organizes events with other departments. There's this association of graduate students that helps you meet other people. So I know people from other departments. I've learned so much from being here. I've gotten so much out of doing research. It's so satisfying to work on research, to look at different questions, to look somewhere nobody has looked before, and it's very exciting. It's also stressful at times, of course, because you have a lot of work, but it's work that satisfies you at the end of the day. And so it's nice to be a graduate student in this department in UCI, especially. So here at UCI, you have a lot of space for collaborations with other departments. For example, our lab works with people over in neurobiology, and so for example, we work with them on stroke in particular, where they collect data from patients of stroke, and we work on statistical analyses of this data. Also, there's a lot of interdisciplinary work that happens from our department, essentially, and it happens because there's people working in clinical areas, there's people working with mice and rats out in neurobiology, and so we get to work with all these people. We get to look at their data, we get to talk to them, understand how they think about the brain, what they're looking into, and then we get to then come in and try to help analyze this data, understand it better, and understand the brain better. So at UCI, I've managed to try to come up with a more healthy work-life balance, and it's difficult at times because at times you're sort of stuffed with work and it's difficult. But whenever possible, that you have access to the ARC, which is the Activity and Recreation Center, and whenever I can, I go and play tennis, and there's lots of facilities there. The gym is supposed to be one of the best of any university. UCI is in California, and in Southern California, more importantly. And what that means is you have access to nature very close by. You can go surfing at the beaches, you can go hiking, and this is something we regularly do. We go hiking every once in a while to the mountains, which are out east, and it's a lot of fun. It's a way to get out, be in nature. There's few other places that are as amazing and as beautiful as SoCal, and with such amazing weather. And especially at UCI, you have access to Aldrich Park. And so every once in a while, I'll take my laptop, I'll go to Aldrich Park, I'll read a paper there, and it almost doesn't feel like work.